guys, Orly Wahba here, founder of Life Best Inside. And I want to thank each and every one of you for deciding to kick off your week with me on the weekly Kindness Kickoff with Orly, coming at you at the beginning every week, where I do a reading from my book, Kindness Boomerang, How to Save the World and Yourself Through 365 Daily Acts. And then I give you, myself, and all of us out there an exciting kindness challenge based on the reading. If you want to get a copy of the book, you could pick it up directly at lifebestinside.com, but you could also win your copy here. So I've noticed in the comments, a lot of you have been asking, wait, how do I win a copy? I don't understand. How do I get it? Very, very simple. When you share your thoughts and your feedback on the act that week, what you did or what was very difficult for you about that act, you have more and more opportunity to win. Now, in the very beginning of every month, I announce a winner that wins 2 copies of the book. Just last week, I told you we're going to be pushing it off to this week. So at the end, after I share this week's act, I'm going to be announcing the winner for last month. So stay tuned. Make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, guys. Also, a couple of additional things before we jump right in. We are having our first dance party. I mentioned this in our last week's video. We're going to be having our first dance party February 9th. That means each and every month we're going to be putting out a new choreography to a new dance style run by our awesome choreographer, Marvin Casey. And once a month, we're gonna gather together on Zoom to do the dance together and then also to engage in acts of kindness on the actual call. Yes, it's going to be really exciting. All you need to do is head to danceforkindness.com. You'll see an opportunity there to register. It's very easy. You just put your name, your email. You'll get the email reminder before the actual event, and then you'll have the chance to actually learn the dance. And each month it's going to be different, and you get an opportunity to decide what style of dance we choose next. So stay tuned for that. Also, you still have an opportunity to take part in our next global video collaboration called A Tribute to Our Elders, where basically we're asking you to share a valuable lesson that you learned from an elder in your life. So you'll see all of the links to each of the places I'm telling you directly in the description of the video. All right, so the act goes as follows for this week. It comes to us from January 16th. Love someone for who they are. By doing so, you may realize that they are already what you need. And the quote by Gerard Way. Being happy doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means you've decided to look past the imperfections and the reflection. It's once we see a person for who they are that we can begin falling in love with the qualities that make them unique. No one is perfect. It was never meant to be that way. The challenge is seeing beyond the imperfections and uncovering the hidden gems that lies within them. I found that the more we learn to see the hidden gems within ourselves, in spite of our tendency for self-criticism, the easier it becomes to spot them in others. So I find this to be so relevant in today's time, the concept of loving someone for who they are. And by doing so, they'll actually already what you need. You know, in today's world, and I know I've said this many times, and many of you, I'm sure, will agree with this, the concept of dialogue, right? What is dialogue? Di mean two, that there's two people in the conversation that have differing viewpoints, right? Differing opinions. But that concept has really been thrown out the window. And that's a negative thing for society because society needs differences of opinion. Guys, we all have, take your finger, okay? We each have a different fingerprint that's specific to us in this world of 8 billion people. So do you think everyone is gonna have the same thoughts, the same ideologies, the same beliefs? Of course not. But what I've come to see more and more, and I think that this is bringing a lot of animosity that's happening in the world, is that people feel like, well, if you don't believe what I say, if you don't believe in what I believe, then I don't want to hear you. People unfriending each other because of difference in political views or difference in religious beliefs. What does that mean? We are different. There's no such thing as two people being the same in this whole entire world. It just doesn't happen. And the key to be able to undo this animosity is written right here. That the more we learn to see the hidden gems within ourselves, in spite of our tendency for self-criticism, the easier it becomes to spot it in others. So here's my philosophy, my thought on why there is animosity in this world. I believe that animosity comes from people not believing enough in what they believe. So what are you talking about, Orly? What does that mean? Well, you see, if I believe enough in what I believe, I'm not afraid that your beliefs or ideologies are going to influence me because I'm very secure. When I'm secure in who I am, suddenly I am free. That's when you become free. I'm free to embrace people for who they are, recognizing that they might think differently, and that's okay. That doesn't mean I have to become like them or they are trying to make me like them and I'm trying to make them like me. No. It's just about having dialogue, being able to share a difference of opinion and knowing that at the end of the conversation, you may still not see each other's viewpoints and go in completely different directions. And that is okay. But we have to recognize and realize that it starts very much from being secure with who we are and what we believe. Otherwise, if we're not secure in who we are and what we believe, we're so fearful that others are going to influence us that what do? We shove our ideologies down another person's throat. We shove what we believe down their throat. And then we have to convince ourselves in our mind, I'm doing it right and they're doing it wrong. And that's what causes animosity. That's what causes hate. That's what causes division. So it's important for whoever's watching this, from wherever you are in the world, okay? I'm not going to go into giving specific examples. Each of every one of us will take this in our own way. We know what we're talking about here. Let's try for the challenge to be over the course of this week, not just over the course of this week. Let's have this become the new way in which we see the world. Become more secure in what you believe. Be secure in who you are. See the beauty and the gems within you. The more you do, the more you're going to see it in others. You'll be able to see past the differences, recognizing that it makes sense that we're all different, that we all look different, that we speak different, we think different, we believe different. That is our unique identifier. Why would we want to take away the uniqueness that each and every one of us has for conformity? Why do that? Everyone, even within the same group, even within the same, section of people or group of people or philosophies of people, still have differences. They don't see everything 100% eye to eye. So let's become aware of that. Let's allow ourselves to be opened to dialogue, open to conversation, giving a person a second look, not automatically labeling them. And now I know it becomes hard because, to be very honest, when we look at the media, for example, you hear this dialogue of division. You're hearing it. Therefore, it sort of seeps into our minds. We actually come to believe that it's true. Don't allow yourselves to be manipulated by that. Recognize that it's okay. So yes, somebody maybe acted in this kind of way. I'm not trying to say to allow negative things to happen without being able to voice your opinion. That's not what I'm saying. But there's a way to do something. There's a way to even give criticism. There's a way to do it. Imagine, you did something wrong. Let's say, I'm just giving an example. Imagine a person did something wrong. Now, what are they more likely to be able to listen to? Okay, we're going to give an example, let's say, to do in school. Okay, let's say you're in school, okay? And you did the homework wrong. So there's two ways that a person can respond to you. The teacher can either say, my goodness, why did you do this? This is wrong. I don't understand. Or could say, listen, I see that you tried, but maybe you just didn't 100% understand what the directions were. Really, here's the way to do it next time. Now, what are you more likely to respond to in a positive way? When somebody attacks you, your first reaction is to put up the defense, right? To defend and then to attack back. But when you speak calmly, when you speak respectfully, when you share your perspective, a person is now able to be open to actually hear the words that you're saying. Otherwise, it's just screaming. It's just noise. It's just noise, right? Like in an orchestra. If every single instrument in the orchestra was playing loudly because they wanted to be heard above everyone else, what happens? It sounds terrible. It's a mess. But each instrument knows when they're supposed to come in and when they're supposed to, in a sense, take the back seat and be a little bit lower so that the other instruments can be heard. This is how it works in life. So we need to be able to speak with words of kindness, with words of understanding, with words of compassion and respect. And at the end of the day, if you don't see eye to eye, That's still okay. But what becomes dangerous is when we say, you know what? They don't believe how I believe. I'm just gonna unfriend them. Today's world, it's what's negative is that in today's world, we can just click a button and then close off our ability to see anything else from what we actually believe. We just unfriend, unlike, this, whatever. This is not what we're meant to be doing as individuals. And we know this. We know this. I'm not telling you something new, but we have to be able to practice it. So that's my challenge to all of us over the course of this week. Be mindful. That's the most important thing, because the more that you're mindful, you'll see the opportunities. You'll see when these kinds of things come about during your week. And maybe 9 out of 10, you're going to still, let's say, make the same mistake, or I'll still make the same mistake. But if that one time that we don't, that means that we're growing. That means that we're learning. And that, to me, that's all that we're looking to do. So that is my challenge for all of us, to love someone for who they are. And by doing so, you'll realize that they actually are exactly what you need, and however way that you want to take that act. I look forward to hearing your thoughts and your responses. Before we head off, I'm going to announce the winner for this past month. And usually I'll put all the names into like a random picker, but there was really one comment that stood above the rest over the course of the month of December. So now we have the month of January, so I'll be doing the next drawing in the very beginning of February. And I want to give a shout out to Sherry 1. And Sherry wrote as follows. She said, "I'm so inspired to move forward with kindness every time I see your videos. I just sent a thank you to one of my favorite professors. I explained how and why their influence affected my life. Some of them are the very reason I am a teacher today. Even on disability, I'm finding ways to be a teacher. Distance learning has certainly brought its challenges, but it can be done well." Such a beautiful comment, Sherry. This is a comment that she left on a video where we discussed the act for that week was to write a letter of gratitude to someone. And so she chose to send it to one of her favorite professors. I'm excited to hear what you guys are going to do over this week. The challenges that you may come across, that's okay. Recognizing that there's challenges is actually the first step to be able to make a difference. Because again, it's all about awareness. That's what we're trying to increase here. So please do subscribe to the channel. Click on the little bell icon so you get a notification when our next videos are going to be released. Make sure you check out the new video collaboration, the tribute to our elders, and also our dance party, our monthly dance party, going to be coming up February 9th. I will be reminding you each week so that you guys know. Thank you so much for joining. And remember, it's kindness that keeps the world afloat. Love you all. Mwah.